Alright, well, after my last couple of videos, I was doing a natural edge poplar bowl, and well, if you saw those videos, you see it kind of came apart on me. So and what happened was, as I was cutting the tenon off the bottom, I just went through. I got a little bit too thin, but looking back at what I did, instead of just cutting the tenon on the back here for my chuck, I cut a recess, and the tenon was actually part of that recess. So and it got a lot thinner a lot faster than I thought. But anyway, a lot of people want me to go back and use the other half of that log and make another bowl. So here it is. This is it here. And well, anyway, what I decided to do is I'll just take this video and I'll start right where the other one came apart, and I'll finish this one up. I'll show you how I use the tung oil. I use tung oil, kind of brings out the finish, and then I use finishing paste wax to finish it up. But I'll show you how I did that, and we'll start that right now. Set that down. Alrighty. That's it. I just need to sand that up a little bit. I'll just sand this up by hand. Nice little ridge right here. Alright. I'll just do it the same way I did the rest of it. Back up just a little bit. Now I'll just take my knife and just cut this off. Alright, that's ready to stand up. It doesn't start raining again in Georgia. Alright, so now I'll just stand it up. Alright, now for a nice coat of tung oil. Really bring out the colors and stuff in the wood. Very carefully. Alright, just got it all the way around. Now I'm just poke the inside really good. We're going to soak that first layer up like crazy. Now I have to come back and re-sand this just a little bit, knock the little bit of roughness off. Just let it soak it in. That end grain will really pull it in. Well, very nice. I'll let that set up and cure. In the meantime, I'll get started on the outside. I'll just get this on there. Real good. And I'll be back once I finish getting this coat on. Alright, well, just getting ready to sand it up a little bit. Sand it up a little bit, and because the tongue oil's dry, now I'm just going to run over it right quick, real quickly with the 320, just to make sure that all the rough stuff's gone. All I'm using the tongue oil for is basically just to bring out the colors. Almost get everything smoothed up real good. Just a light sanding. Alright. So now I'm ready to start putting in my oil. Let me wipe this out first. My wax. I'm just going to start wax with a shop towel. I'm just going to wipe it on, and this wax is like very cold. It's about freezing temperature out here right now, so it's kind of hard to get out. This may take a while. I'm just going to rub it in there real good. I've just finished my second coat of wax on here, and I'm getting ready to buff it out. And all I'm going to do is just buff it out real good. I'm using a shop towel again. And be careful doing this, because what you can end up doing is knocking these edges off the bark with your hands. And that would be really bad now. So let's just be careful with it. And just get it done. Do it right and get it done. I like that. Alright, and then we'll do the outside. Well, that one just fell off right there. I didn't even touch that side. I think I can glue that back on though. I'll glue that back on after I get done. And I like this wax. It gives a nice sheen, but not gloss. Like I said in the other video, I don't really like gloss on these natural edge bowls. It just doesn't look right. I've tried it. But, I mean, you know, if you want to use a glossy finish, hey, go for it. You might like it. I personally didn't like it that much myself. But you might like it. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. This was a really fun project anyway. I don't think this one turned out as nice as the other one would have. I still managed to keep all the bark on it. You can see, you know, I kept all the bark. Some of the moss is really brittle, so you know, I don't think it's actually going to end up staying in the long run. But anyway, in this series, we took a poplar bowl, or a poplar log, cut 2 bowl blanks, and it was absolutely green wood, absolutely green. So, you know, we got started, and I was throwing water all over the shop. It was all up the walls and on the floor and all over my lathe and everything. But once I got it roughed, or I say rough, once I got it shaped the way I wanted, I went ahead and cut the wall thickness to my desired thickness. That way it's really thin, and when it dries, it may not end up being, you know, cracking. So anyway, I got it, and I did my finishing cuts and all that. And what that does is it helps you when you mount the bowl back and you start doing all your sanding. You've already made good finishing cuts, and your sanding, it makes it a lot easier, because you can't spin it on the lathe and re-true it up when you cut it this thin, and then it dries out and it warps a little bit. It doesn't work. So, but I took it in as a green bowl and basically dripping with water. Put it in the oven, in the house, in the kitchen oven, and on a low heat, around 190 degrees, it stayed in there about 3 hours, and I started weighing it with my scales. Once I got to where my scales it wasn't losing any more weight, I knew it was pretty much dry. So I brought it back out here. I sanded it, finished it up with some tung oil and wax, and there it is. And it's dry. It's a dry bowl, and it's ready to go on a display or whatever you want to use it for. But anyway, that's a method I've tried and I've used before, and it works. I don't know, you know, if this would work with a bowl that has the pith running through it. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I cut the pith out. If the pith was running through it, it would probably still crack. Chances are, if the bowl's gonna crack as it dries, it's gonna crack. It doesn't matter what you do with it. You can put it in a bag of shavings if you want to. You can put it in the oven or the microwave, or put it out and just set it up for a year or two, or ever how long you want to set it up for. But I'm of the opinion that I think if a bowl's gonna crack, if that wood in there is unstable to the point that as it starts to dry, it doesn't matter if it dries fast or slow. Whether it dries fast or whether it dries slow, it's still got to dry, and the wood's still going to have to move. And so far, you know, some of my little messing arounds out here, that's kind of proven to be true. You know, I've heard of people putting bowls up for 10 years. You know, this bowl cured for 10 years. Well, that's good, but I don't have that kind of time. I probably won't even live that long. But anyway, this worked for me. You see it here. Right there it is, a finished bowl. And I started it and I finished it. It took 2 days, but start to finish 2 days from an absolutely green log. Absolutely, it was totally green, and slinging water out of it on the lathe to finish the bowl. 2 days. All right, well, I hope you found it enjoyable. Maybe you'll go out and try some of this stuff. I'm not asking you to take my word for any of it. Just go out and try it. You know, think a little bit outside the box. Just because somebody says that you have to do something a certain way, you know, it's just a piece of wood, folks. You know, if it doesn't work out, you got firewood, or you got, you know, something else. It's just a piece of wood. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But this way worked for me. It's worked several times now. Oh, and by the way, you won't get, if you keep your temperatures lower in your oven, you won't get all kind of bad smells and stuff in there. One guy asked me about that. You know, doesn't that wood smell bad, you know, in your oven? Well, you're not scorching the wood to the point where it's going to smoke. All you're doing is evaporating the water out of it. So keep the temperature low, you know, let it be in there for a couple hours or 3 hours or ever how long it takes to dry out, and then take it out. You know, don't leave it in there where it could start smoking or something. You get you a little fire going in there. That could be bad. But this worked out really good for me. I put it on a cookie sheet and with some aluminum foil on it to make sure any water didn't drip down in my oven or my wife's oven. So, but anyway, there we go. That's how I did it. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you'll try it yourself. See you on down the road.